Hola mis amigos and possible amigas, my name is Taffrey16. It is once again Wednesday for you Patreon, but regardless of what day it is, it is time for another episode of Reading Your Comments. I'd really love to see another Red Dwarf episode though. There's one to be out for the current situation, Quarantine. Maroon perhaps suitable also. And there's still the fan favorites like Back to Reality, Demons and Angels, Dimension Jump. I could name a dozen episodes that are for essential viewing. Quarantine, huh? Would that be in poor taste? Or would that be perfect? Would that be in poor taste to do right now, or would that be absolutely perfect? I don't know. That's tempting. Do you realize that there's someone watching you? You might be eating, sleeping, or even sound a loop, but you're still being watched. Yeah, I was talking about the stream the other day. I guess because I do make so much content that, technically speaking, there could be somebody watching me at all hours of the day. You know, there's probably, I mean, hell, you're watching me right now, aren't you? So, at any point in any time, at any point in the day, when I'm anywhere in the world, someone could be watching me. That's somewhat creepy, but also kind of cool. I've been binge watching Friday Night Dinner the last couple days. It's time for the new series to start tomorrow night. It's already came out by now. I would like to see you do another episode of it. Yeah, I'd have to do a proper episode because, again, I accidentally did the last episode last time I did it because I didn't know what episode someone had sent me, and they sent me the last episode. So maybe we'll go back to the beginning next time I watch Friday Night Dinner. I know, would you consider doing another reaction to 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown? There's one episode I'm going to suggest, Series 16 Episode 2. I'm also going to suggest Total Wipeout and Harry Hill's TV Burp. TV Burp, I feel like I've seen a clip of that, like when Mr. Blobby's on it or something. It looked funny. So yeah, I could see a reaction video to that. Total Wipeout, I'm pretty sure is a spin-off of an American show just called Wipeout. I used to watch that a lot as a kid. That show's fun. 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown did very well. That video got over 40,000 views. So yeah, I think they're safe to say there'll be a sequel in the future. I had a slow motion moment back in my early teens. I had some golf clubs and a few golf balls, and I went out with my friend to a field out near the back of the house he lived in at the time. We started hitting the balls as far as we could. He hit one, then ran out to retrieve it, while I put one on the ground and lined it up to hit. I got a good backswing and hit it perfectly, and watched it fly through the air, right over to where he was. He picked up his ball, stood up, turned around to come back to me, and my ball hit him square in the chest. He went down like he had been shot. He was feeling that one for a while. Well, I don't know whose fault that is, because maybe you should have looked to make sure he wasn't standing out there, but also maybe he should have called out and said, hey, I'm going out there to get my ball. So, that's kind of on both of you. Well, if we do end up getting that Would I Lie to You episode, I feel like I've done my good deed for today. It's not like I can go out and help an old lady cross the street. No, stay inside, buddy, stay inside. But yeah, we did end up getting that episode, so you did your good deed. Congratulations. When are you reacting to Doctor Who next? Here's the thing about that. There was supposed to be a Doctor Who episode in March, supposed to do episode 7 of the regular show, but it got that got postponed because they didn't unblock it in time. It was supposed to get. I was waiting for it to get unblocked. Apparently, if you do less than 10 minutes of footage, BBC will unblock, and so I split it into 5 parts. But it hasn't been unblocked, so I'm waiting for it to get unblocked. And I'm also that'll probably go up this month, and I'm also planning on doing Classic Who this month. See, a few of our Americans are copying you now, reacting to Still Getting Me Tweeners. I wonder what happened to BuoyTube. All their content's gone. Well, as far as they go, I think I remember them. Did they leave? That's a shame. They seemed nice. Also, I don't think it's copying. I don't know if I was the first American to react to Still Gaming the In-Betweeners. I won't be the last. You know, Rob and I thought it was funny the other day because I think BuzzFeed did a thing on that the other day, showing Americans the In-Betweeners for the first time, but they just showed up a bunch of clips out of context and they didn't really get it. Which is something I've learned. You know, it's hard for people to get things. You just show them clips out of content. You need to see the full episode. But yeah, I think that's coincidence, though. I'm pretty decently sure that's coincidence. I don't think I started a revolution or anything. And anyway, it's not copying. I mean, there's no copying. We're all just reacting to content somebody else made anyway. So, I mean, there's no copying. Counterpoint. I wouldn't put it past the producers of Would I Lie to You to go out and find a woman who bears a resemblance to Greg just for the lie. That is a fair point, but still. You know what I think it was? I think it was the mouth. Like, her mouth looked exactly like his. As soon as I saw her face, I'm like, wait, that's totally his mom. Have you seen Greg Davies' stand-ups? Firing cheese balls at a dog in the back of my mom's head. Both are very good. I'm not sure if you can do reactions, though. I'm not sure if I can either. Maybe not the full thing. Maybe just like clips or something. But if I can, I might check that out in my spare time. I didn't know he did stand-up. This is the second best thing I've come across today, apart from the toilet paper in the back of my airing cupboard that I forgot about. Who would have thought that in the year 2020, the most valued, sought-out after commodity would be fucking toilet paper? These are weird times, ladies and gentlemen. I can see it with Greg's mom, not because she looked like him, but because he has a stand-up show called The Back of My Mom's Head and recognizes the short hairstyle. Well, there you go. Benefits of watching stand-up. Hey, Taff316, could you do a reaction to Father Ted Night of the Nearly Dead, Series 3, Episode 7? I mean, I'll be doing every Father Ted episode. I'm doing them monthly. But I could maybe do that this month. I'm not going in order with Father Ted. We're just going in random order. It seems like it's different for different shows. Like, with Father Ted and Still Game, we've kind of established a precedent of going in random order of those shows, but on a counterpoint, like with what we did this with In-Betweeners, and also with IT Crowd and Doctor Who newer show, I think I'm going to go in regular order. So I think I'll go in regular order with IT Crowd. Father Ted, I'm going to go in random order. The only condition I have with Father Ted is I want to do the last episode last. But leading up to that, I'm just going to go completely random. Noah, it's time to react to an episode of Taskmaster with Bob Mortimer on it. Bob was on Taskmaster? Well then. Yeah, that sounds like a good time. It may just be time for that. Perfect viewing for the lockdown. Thank you, Mr. 36. You're welcome. I think... I'm not sure who Mr. 36 is, but I'll be sure to pass it on to him. You ranted on and on too much about how Greg and his mom looked alike. I found it irritating. Well, I found your comment irritating. You don't see me crying about it, though. This is it. The end. I feel like a relative had just died. Such sadness. Yeah, it's a little trippy, ain't it? I mean, not completely, because I'm still going to be re-uploading the In-Betweeners. Talking about In-Betweeners, by the way. I'm still going to be re-uploading the In-Betweeners show twice a month to YouTube. 3 and 4 will go up this month, for example. But yeah, it's weird that as far as new In-Betweeners content, and to be fair, the episodes up on YouTube will be new to a lot of people. The episode of the first show I did has almost 100,000 views, 200,000 views, which is fucking crazy. But yeah, it is weird. I don't think I'm going to be doing the shitty reunion special. Don't think I'm going to do that. So the fact that as far as new In-Betweeners reactions, I've literally finished it. I've done the whole show in both movies. I mean, that was always the goal, but the fact that we've actually accomplished it, it's pretty trippy. I actually really like the second movie. Here's my opinion. I have mixed feelings, because first off, it wasn't nearly as bad as people made it out to me. People made it out to me like it was just shit, and it definitely wasn't. I think it was a good film. There were elements I liked, and there was a lot of funny elements. The sad part where they almost die at the end surprised me with how serious it was, even though I knew they weren't actually going to die. And I'll tell you what, Will's rant on the hippies, in terms of all In-Betweeners media, was a top 3 moment for me. It really was. That, in no particular order, that, Neil punching the fish, and Will kicking the door into that lady, Mrs. Springett, were probably my top 3 favorite moments in all of In-Betweeners media. That rant was incredible. But there's just certain elements, I guess, like, it's a problem I had with the show as well, and that's ignoring plot elements. For instance, there was one episode in the show where we got a lot of detail on Jay and why he's like the way he is, you know, and like how terrible his family, especially his dad, is. And I figured we were going to get some serious character development from Jay going forward, but he just pretty much regressed the rest of the series, you know? There was no development at all. And then in the second movie, there was a lot of the same thing compared to the first, and that's that fucking... There was, the girls was the main problem with me. They did not mention Neil's ex-girlfriend at all. There was no mention whatsoever. I mean, I guess you can infer that, oh, well, maybe she dumped him because she found out he didn't really break up with his other girlfriend. But still, no mention whatsoever. Not one, not a single one. And also, with Will's ex-girlfriend, who was arguably the main girl in the first movie, like, they mentioned her once in passing during the segment where they were arguing. Will just said, I got dumped, you got dumped, and that was it. They didn't, like at least, this would have been at least better to just do, like a 30-second thing, but like, hey, Will, what happened to you and her, you know, and then Will explains 30 seconds, and that's it. I mean, that still doesn't do her character justice, but it would have been better than what they had. You know, they just completely glossed over it. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. And like, Jane's plotline was pointless because it was just an excuse to kick, you know, it was just I forgot his name, Jay. It was just an excuse to kick Jay in the balls again. That's all it was. It was just an excuse to kick him in the nuts. And then Lucy doing complete 180, I just don't understand, because I guess if you want to try to explain it from a storyline perspective, you could say, oh, well, the incident of Carly made her jealous and made her think, oh, I can't ever let Simon have anybody else ever again. But it doesn't make any sense because her whole personality in the whole movie is that she really cared for Simon, and she was supposed to be a better person than Carly, you know. And even at the end, she offered to give Simon up her ticket for him to be with Carly just so he could be happy. So to just do a complete 180 on her, you know, fucking character just for a lol domestic abuse storyline is fucking lazy, you know? It's lazy. So I liked the movie as a whole, but there were a lot of elements I didn't like plot-wise, and I got an overwhelming feeling of, like, when you really think about it, did this movie need to exist? Not really. It didn't really need to exist. They didn't really do it for the sake of advancing anything. They did it either due to fan demand or money or the combination of the two. But it didn't really need to exist. Alright, y'all, that's going to do it for another episode of Reading Your Comments. Per usual, if you want a chance to get your comment read next week, just comment down below in the comments section. These comments were pulled from last week's episode of Reading Your Comments, American Reacts to In-Betweeners Movie 2, and American Reacts to Would I Lie to You 4. So, the comments next week will be pulled from this, the Mrs. Brown's Boys video, and probably the two reaction videos in between this and next episode of Reading Your Comments, one of which will be tomorrow. And, no, not tomorrow. What's today? What day is this going up on? I'm filming this on the night of the 31st, by the way. This is going up on Thursday, so that one will be in 2 days. It'll be that Peter K thing, because that won the poll. But that is going to so that Peter K thing and whatever the next reaction video is in between now and Reading Your Comments 71 will be where I pull comments for next week's video from. So comment on those videos if you want best chance to get your comment read next week. But that is going to do it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, be sure to like it. If you didn't like it, don't. If you want to follow any of my social media links, my Twitch, where I stream every single day, my second channel, Freestyle Views, my Twitter. If you want to follow me, my Patreon, if you want to support me, or my Daily Motion, all those things are down in the description down below. Thank you guys to all 38, as I'm currently recording this, of my Patrons for your constant support of me and my channel. Also in the description, you find a link to the daily schedule as well as the community Reddit. With all that being said, though, my name is Taffree's Team. It's been another episode of Reading Your Comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.